Okay, how to remove a belt on a BRZ engine or Toyota 86 or FRS or whatever you're driving. They're all the same car. This is the FA20 motor. Not much different than the newer ones, but just figured I'd point that out. What you want to do is get a giant breaker bar or a long wrench and go to the tensioner pulley like I'm doing here. See, when you let tension off, and then when you put tension on it, it will give you slack on the belt. And then I'm holding the camera and doing this without two pairs of hands, so forgive me here, but as you can see, the belt will start coming off, and then you pretty much are in the stretch of where you need to be, and it will start sliding off in different spots. And make a diagram of how the belt is routed on here, or take a picture before you put the new belt on. But it's a pretty straightforward process, and I'm going to be replacing these pulleys because they've seen better days, and I could already hear when I was sliding this one off on the alternator that pulley was making some noise. This tensioner pulley down here making some noise when I spin it. Yeah, you can hear it there. It's not ideal, so I did order those from a tuning company. They actually do a lot of drift cars. And then when you check your alternator pulley, you want to make sure there's not a lot of resistance or noise or wiggling, and a lot of noise from cars behind me because it's like peak commuting time. But the alternator pulley actually feels pretty decent. The grooves still look good. A little rusty, but that's more cosmetic stuff. I can clean that up. Not going to replace that right now. Eventually, yeah. And then I'm more so concerned about the tensioner pulley that we have down here where my wrench is that I'm pulling on. I'm going to replace the tensioner pulley and then all of the idle pulleys, or accessory pulleys that some people call it, because they don't look good and they don't sound good. So basically, when you replace everything, you do it in reverse order. Torque specs are different for each pulley that you do, so look them up in the user manual or the owner's manual. They all float between 20 and 35, depending on what you're gauging them to, whether it's pound-feet of torque or if you're doing the opposite. But they don't take much to get them on there. But yeah, the belt's not too hard to get off. My belt is pretty toast. It's very old, very floppy, and it's time for a new one. So I'm going to be doing that, and hopefully that fixes up some of the idle issues and noise I've been having as of late. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a 14 millimeter, and this is just a giant handle from a serpentine belt set that I have. You can get those pretty much at any auto parts store. But yeah, after this I'm gonna have to replace the headers because there's a leak on those as well, and it's pretty much cooked. But just a little overview of removing the belt: you go to the tensioner, like I said, which is right here, pull it to the right and you will feel it give way, and then you can start peeling the belt off. And that is pretty much it. There we go, that's coming off here. Off of there, and there is the old belt. Yeah, that's it.